if you're selling competitive products on Google Ads, watch this. If you run a multi-brand web shop where you have more than 1,000 different products, you have different profit margins, you have heavy competition, and you have fluctuating performance, and it feels like only when you run a sale is where you actually push performance, then this is the exact structure you should be using on your Google Ads account. Because in this space, you can achieve extremely high ROAS, massive volume, and very scalable performance. This is a space with a lot of searches and demand on the products you're selling if you're having this multi-brand store. But at the same time, you can also burn money fast if you push the wrong product at the wrong time with the wrong price, which is very important, the price. So success here comes down to one thing. It's showing the product at the right time to the right person with the right price and with the right profit margin. Not just the right product, not just the right price, the right time, but you need all of these together, because if your price is wrong, your competitor win. Hey, my name is Jacob Thyssen. Over the last couple of years, I've generated more than $70 million on Google Ads, working with a large number of multi-brand web shops and testing out a lot of different strategies where I figured out the best kind of strategy to push for these kind of brands to make sure you have volume, you're competitive to the competitors, and you also have something on the bottom line, because I know the biggest challenge with a multi-brand web shop is the bottom line, where the ROAS can look high on Google and it can feel like it's going okay, but on the bottom line it's hurting the performance. So I'll be going through the exact strategy you should be using as a multi-brand web shop. Our biggest clients who have scaled up to more than $2 million per month with this strategy. Let's get into it. First part, shopping. Shopping will and should be your main channel. If it's not, then something is definitely wrong. But to make shopping work in a competitive multi-brand setup, you need segmentation. Not just guesswork on which products, not just a catch-all or a couple of catch-all campaigns, and not campaigns based on brand. The problem with brand is you might have one brand with 80% of the products performing good, 20% not performing good, or another brand which 10% of the product performing good and 90% of the products not performing good. And if you're just pushing on this specific brand and this campaign, the other campaign is not really getting any attention, even though you have some bestsellers from the brand, it's not going to be working well. So you need custom labels based on each product. So we implemented with 3 critical layers: price competitiveness, profit margins, and performance indexing. So the first one is price competitiveness. You must know if you're cheaper than competitors, same price, or more than expensive. So we typically use price shape for this. We can also do it with a script ourselves with GTIN numbers. It's a little bit more technical approach, but our agency can do that. I will, however, recommend price shape. It's going to be having more data than us, but both is actually okay. But price shape will be the one. We just have some clients who don't want to spend the money for the software. We do it ourselves. But with price shape, we can then have label products as low price, neutral price, semi-high price, and high price. And this will be based on the competitor's price for the exact same product, because we don't want to spend budget on products where competitors are clearly cheaper, because then the conversion rate will be terrible. We'll still get traffic on the products, but the competitors will get the sales, will waste money. So this is just the first thing is not really spending much money on the semi-high and high products, and focusing more on the low price and the neutral price on the competitors. We might still have some campaigns for the higher priced products. Sometimes we can see some of it working, but then we're doing it with a controlled low budget, which is not eating up the performance. The next thing is profit margins, because ROAS alone means nothing without margin, and also you might have different margins on different products. So we need to have our margins added to custom labels for our product. So we'll label each product based on profitability. So this can be, for example, 8 to 12% that will have a custom label, and then 13 to 18%, 19 to 24%, where you can see directly with the number in the custom labels. And then we can also just sometimes call it low, medium, high, very high, semi-high. All of this we'll segment it in. All of this is based on how many products you have, how much differentiate there is in the different margins. We will also set this up often inside of price shape if you're already running this with the competitor pricing, and then we'll have the profit margin as well. And then we can push high margins products harder, while also we can protect the profitability overall. We can have higher ROAS targets for the low margin products. We can have lower ROAS targets for the high margin products. And this will allow us to also just push on based on profit and not just with ROAS. The next thing is the third layer, the performance indexing, because that's going to be based on performance in the last 90 days of our products, because even though we have a good price on a product, we have a good margin, that does not mean we'll get good performance on it. Because, for example, some products of this will maybe have very low demand on Google, low search volume, or poor conversion behavior. Something with the branding of you, there can be a lot of these things are also playing in for each product, where some of them will be hard to sell even if we have a good price and good margin. Yeah, pretty much just good price, because the competitor, the customer does not care about the margin, obviously. So even though we have the good price. So that's where we're using the performance indexing. We'll implement a daily script that analyzes the product performance over the last 90 days, and then each product gets indexed as over index, near index, under index, and no index. Here we'll set a benchmark ROAS. Let's say we'll set that as 5. Then the over index will maybe be the products with 5% over the benchmark ROAS. So that would be all the products with a minimum of 5.25 ROAS. Near index will be the products around the benchmark ROAS. Let's say 5 or 10%, and 5% over. So that would be from 4.75 approximately to 5.25 will be near index. Then under index will be the products with lower ROAS than that. And then no index would be the products without enough data to be indexed with, for example, let's say less than 200 impressions in the last 90 days. All of these is going to be based on your product performance when you look through it, but this is going to be the index-based strategy that we'll set up. So now we have how good our price is to the competitors, we have our profit margin, and we have the data itself with the index. And now the power will come from combining these different layers in a campaign, and we can start playing a lot of different things with our segmentation. So we can have, for example, the high plus semi-high margin with neutral or low price, and with near index or over index performance. And that can be in one segment in a campaign. This means where we have good margins, we have the same price as competitors or lower, and we have a product that also has performed. And this will probably be the most scalable campaign where you can push very aggressively. And that's how it's going to work out with the segmentation here. And then at the same time, you can make sure that low margin, high price products, underperforming products are not getting the same budget, and having a controlled testing budget, because one product can still get some performance from it, or they can be moved from under index to over index, and they can still do some kind of testing on it. But this is how we will then be able to test it in a controlled way and make sure we're pushing the products with high performance. With these custom labels added, you can do a lot of different segmentation, pushing different products in different campaigns. But it's very important that you don't over-segment. Segmentation is good, but over-segmentation is very bad. Each campaign needs a minimum of 50 conversions in a 30-day period in order to be working good with the automated bidding strategy target ROAS. So start a bit broad, a bit consolidated with the campaigns, and then once you have enough conversion data in the campaigns, then split them out into multiple new campaigns and start segmenting from there. But very important, you get minimum 50 conversions in 30-day period approximately. The next part is the search support structure, which is not going to be the main of your performance. That's going to be from shopping, but we'll also use search to get some more revenue, and as a supporting layer we'll run it in 4 key search layers. One is going to be your brand campaign, which I think is very mandatory, very obvious to run a brand campaign for all your brand traffic and make sure brand is excluded completely from all other campaigns. Then you run one top search campaign. This would be the top converting search terms, or I'll normally just take all converting search terms in the last 12 months from shopping and from search, and then launch each of the search terms in its separate ad group with exact match and phrase match, so you can have the most specific landing page for each product. Most of them will probably be product landing pages, but some of them might also be homepage, collection page, etc. So this will be your top search campaign. You can also segment it later on when you have more volume. You can just take parts of it out, the best performing ones later on, but start out with all the ones that got conversions in the last 12 months. And then after that, you'll be launching your brands search campaign. You can also call it something else a little bit confusing, but this has got to be not your own brand, but the brands you're reselling, where you have one ad group for each of the brands you're reselling with its brand name in phrase and exact match leading into the brand collection page. And this is often performing really, really well here for these stores. Then the DSA will be the next one, targeting product pages, collection pages. This will capture missed demand from your top search campaign and will be running for targeting all the product and collection pages. This is the exact structure we've been using in 2025 and 2026 so far to scale multi-brand web shops across multiple accounts, and this has consistently delivered results. Our strongest case is one of the web shops we scaled to more than 2 million USD per month, which was with this exact approach. So if you'd like to see whether we can help you scale your web shop as well, then you can click the link right below. It's a direct call with me. There's no selling on this call. It's just a conversation to see if we're relevant for you, to see if you're relevant for us. And then if so, then we'll provide you with a free Google Ads audit right after. Click the link down below to book a call here with me. Thank you very much for watching.